question I kind of always wrap up with is, what's one piece of advice you have for the younger guys who are just making that transition out of high school to the pros, or coming from college and just trying to establish themselves outside of the game, but in the game as well, as soon as they make that jump?
Yeah, I think it's the jump, especially from high school, is tough if you don't have a
Mm-hmm.
really good support system around you, because for the first time in your life, you're on your own and you have a little bit of money in your pocket. So there's a lot of temptations, and like it's weird thinking I'm old enough now to be like, yeah, those kids or whatever, but it's, I mean, it's
Yeah.
true. They're 18, 19, 20, right? I'm 25 now. Um, like I've kind of experienced things that those guys are about to experience. So if they were to ask me, I would just tell them, like, you really just need to focus on what you actually want, not what people tell you you want,
Mm.
because there's plenty of guys that are playing professional baseball that don't really like the game of baseball. And some of them are just so talented that it doesn't matter and they're going to make it anyway. But, even like some guys that are playing, most guys do really have a passion for the game. And you really find that out when they become coaches afterwards or things like that. So my biggest advice to guys like Ben, guys who came out of high school, guys that are coming out of college, is really just enjoy these next few years, because your first few years in professional baseball are different than any other time, because you have to have a roommate. So you're living with somebody that you just met that could be from across the country from you, but at that same time, and you're kind of miserable when you're doing it because nobody really likes having a roommate. But it was kind of advice that I got in college was enjoy this time now, because later when you have a family and when you're living on your own, you're going to actually miss your friends.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things for those guys. They're lucky enough to have the Fountains, which is the dorm kind of system that the Royals have in Arizona
Mm-hmm.
now. They're lucky enough to be around all of their best friends every single day. Enjoy it now, because even if you're in the big leagues later, that's when it really becomes a job and you're
Yeah.
focused on how you're performing, because wins really, really matter in the big league. So focus on what's going to make you the best human and best player as early as you can, because then when you do get to the big leagues, everything will work itself out, because you've already built those the skeleton of your house, so to speak, to make that a livable house.
Yeah.
Yeah. Vinny, if I could, I just want to, you mentioned think about what you want and act upon what you want. That is so key, and it's really a mature perspective to looking at baseball. The curious thing, me asking you is, you're in a clubhouse with so many guys. You've gone through the minors with so many guys. You played college and high school with so many guys. Baseball's such an interesting sport because you can look across the diamond, like even at the other team, and every single person there wants something different. You might ultimately want to win, but like their experience in baseball, their journey in baseball, there's a different meaning. There's a different want there. So, I have to ask, what do you want at this point? I think we understand your off-season plan, but like ultimately, what do you want?
Yeah, it's a tough question to answer, just because I want a lot of things.
Yeah, and you could take it so many different directions at different points in your life.
Yeah, like that's a good way to phrase it. Is at different point of your life you want to, like, I always will talk about it, and I've never experienced it. So when I talk about it, I'm very, very ignorant about it. So I know that. But you'll hear a lot of times guys get those massive contracts and then immediately say, I just want to win. That's it.
Yeah.
And the reason they're able to say that is because now they're financially secure. So now they're able to just want to win.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas the way that baseball is set up, you have to get so many years to eventually become financially secure. And I'm talking about for years and years and years, not just in the short term. So it's tough. Like, yeah, my main goal is want to win. Secondarily at that, I would like to set up my family for the rest of my life, as for the rest of my life, their lives, whatever, as we all do. Like, I don't think it's unfair to just go ahead and say that, right? That's what we all want. But at the end of the day, I don't like being in a clubhouse that's losing all the time. I really don't. So I also, yes, while long term, I want to be set up financially for the future and for my family, their family, whoever it may be. But at the end of the day, I really, really want to win. And I'll be like, this is kind of a weird way to phrase it. Most people will say, I hate losing more than I like winning. I'm the opposite. I like winning way more than I hate losing. And that's why I'm okay with sometimes losing, because if we all give it everything we got that specific night to win, how can you be mad if you lose? If you just get beat, you get beat. So for me, number one is to win. I mean, it's just to win. I want to win
Yeah.
championships. I grew up dreaming about hoisting the World Series trophy, and that's what I want to do one day. So for me, that's my goal.